It's Week 18 of the National Football League. All eyes are on Jamar Chase. No one's been busier this season as he currently paces the NFL in receptions. It's the Vikings and the Bears, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 23.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan. That's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game...
Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. Fielded right around the 8. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Well, how's that for an early storyline? Some people are asking the ushers where their seat is, and boom, we've got a score on the board, a fumble return on the opening kickoff.
And this is where all the tailgating groups are looking at each other saying, maybe we need to get to the stadium just a little bit earlier next time.
But, man, those bratwursts, they're good, Charles. They're good. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year in 2019, and that's Ryan Tannehill.
And one of the things that has really impressed me about Ryan Tannehill has been his perseverance. Early in his career, didn't have the success that he desired. Had some injuries that slowed his development. But he kept working at his craft, and now he's a guy that I think you can put a game on his shoulders.
Singletary to get the drive started. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. A handoff on the option to Singletary. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Forget the run on third and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Singletary going to get the handoff. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by Deshaun Watson. Of course, he won a national title at Clemson and already has 3 Pro Bowls under his belt in the National Football League. The drive will start with an option going left. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with the defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, here's Hunt. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Handoff up the middle, Hunt. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down. The Vikings had 14-2 heading into this final week, and they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured bear on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. On 1st and 10, Watson rolling to his right. Throwing for Chase on the crosser. He's got it. Touchdown! Jamar Chase with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to extend their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Carlson down to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And this throw will be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From the 10. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. 3rd and long, it's Tannehill. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
It's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
He'll take it at the 42. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. Well, here we sit, week 17, just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
21-3 is your score after 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A carry here for Hunt. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On second down, they'll run with White. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it second down. They'll run with Hunt. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears' 14. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run again with Hunt. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
The best in the NFL converting that 3rd down, so it's no surprise they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. Running out of the gun with White. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again, this is White, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Zamir White, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this 1st half.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this 1st half. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was finished off with a touchdown run by Zamir White. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. Showed some flash on the run, but he will be brought down shy of his 10. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Vikings head out to take over once again. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute. But you know, really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently. They'll take it. And afterwards, they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
On 1st down, Watson. Got his man, it's Dulcich. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Watson now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. When they need to play on 3rd down, you kind of know what direction the ball is going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of your other receivers can beat us.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. Open man is Burks, and he's got him. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down, as this defense cannot come up with a play that they need. In fact, they surrender a big chunk. 17 yards there on 4th down. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
And able to get this out to the 25. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive to help themselves out.
Here's a throw. Singletary loses it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. Out route complete to Dulcich. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Watson off play action. Sliding out of the pocket. That's taken in by Dulcich. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 19. 23 yards the pickup there. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, Watson. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jamar Chase, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception.
Daniel Carlson set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. But the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. On first down, Tannehill. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. From the 31, Tannehill. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And this one is no good. He missed it. And they will remain well behind. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll begin up in Lambeau, an NFC North battle between Detroit and Green Bay. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. Derek Carr lighting it up. 3 touchdown passes there. From there, let's head over to Highmark Stadium to check out what's happening with the Bills. And they trail the visiting Patriots at halftime. Jared Goff with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we're off to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Richie James, a touchdown reception. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they did even less on the ground as they've struggled to get the run game going. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Now come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll take this one up to about the 23.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper. Faking the give. Now Watson.
Open man downfield is Chase. He's got it.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It was Cameron Jordan who came in and got him. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
3rd and long, it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill.
There's Trimble, the tight end.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 29-yard line.
Back to throw, Tannehill. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted.
Sauce Gardner picks it off.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick 6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead. It just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taken from about the 12. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Tannehill. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Handoff on the option to Singletary.
And he powers his way up past the 30.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Taken in at the 22. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, here's Watson.
Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it.
Touchdown, Vikings!
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field, but if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the top speed he attained there, according to Next Gen Stats, 21.3 miles per hour. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Let's take it on the 25. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They go with White on the counter. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right.
Throwing for Chase on the crosser. He's got it. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, summertime and the living is easy. Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. So on fourth down, on comes the Viking kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
Daniel Carlson set to kick off.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Back now. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the 27, Tannehill.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 11 yards for number 11. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Tannehill. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Tannehill.
Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. A good pickup there, 26 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. Again, Tannehill. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He'll get this out wide to Singletary.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Tannehill. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Tannehill. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. This offense so far on 3rd down, lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
And Tannehill's going to hang on to this.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long. But like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field.
Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They stay on the ground with White. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Here's Watson. He'll buy some time right.
He will find his man Chase complete.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it. They'll go up the middle with White. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
48 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they've practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw, Watson. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Carlson on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception.
Daniel Carlson set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Takes it at the 7. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Tannehill on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill. That caught by Trimble. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Tannehill. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Watson off play action. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the 1st. Gets it out wide quickly. Burks with it. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They run straight ahead here with White. And this will be a Vikings 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And Watson's going to throw it here. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Bears. Look at the big man rumble. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. Graham Gano on for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it in
end zone for 6.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Jamar Chase over to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field.
And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good. And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked.
The gain of 8 brings up 2nd and 2.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Throwing now, Watson. And that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. Third and 2, Watson.
Open man is Chase, complete.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. On first down, it's Watson. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
So another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Vikings,
it's one more win to finish the season as they wrap up with a sterling 15-2 record.
And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Chicago,
it'll be double digits in losses as they fall to 7-10 for their final mark.
And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved.
She-Rag got me. You